I'm with Robert Goddard of Stonewall Cymru at the Promoting Respectful Relationships Conference in Cardiff here. Robert, can I ask you, these days, how big a problem is homophobia?
It's a massive problem still. Although in terms of legislation and perhaps guidance and policy, we've come on miles in recent years, it still is a big issue in schools. The Welsh Assembly Government did a survey last year that found that 40% of people, young people in secondary schools, have seen their cohorts being bullied in a homophobic way in the last few months. The use of the word gay as well is a huge issue, and people don't always think of that necessarily as homophobic bullying. It might be a more subtle form of bullying, but if you've got a young lesbian, gay or bisexual person who perhaps isn't out, and they hear that word being used in a derogatory manner, it's not going to make them feel very comfortable, especially if that doesn't go challenged, which unfortunately it doesn't always get challenged. So it is still an issue. There is still work to be done.
And what are you finding is the most effective kind of approaches and programs?
I think it's peer-led programs. Actually, when you get young people standing up and saying, whether or not they're lesbian, gay, bisexual or heterosexual, young people just standing up and saying, well, actually, that's not cool. We shouldn't use it like that. I think that's by far the most effective way of dealing with bullying. Full stop. Although I like to consider myself fairly young, I think young people are more likely to listen to their friends or their mates than they will me or a teacher when you're talking about issues like that.
And what can we hope to get from a conference like this following through afterwards?
I hope that people will, be able to share best practice, exchange contacts and so on, and, they'll go back and they'll, have a little bit of impetus to actually really put some things in place in their school or in their local authority, whatever role that they actually have. And I really hope that it will give them a little bit more knowledge and a few more skills to actually really drive the agenda forward and really sort of get rid of bullying altogether. But particularly obviously my areas of supporting lesbian, gay, bisexual young people and minimising the impacts of homophobic bullying.